Richard Priest, 629. David James Drummond Pugh, Conservative Party candidate, 619.
Right, there we go, Ronnie. So, David, can I firstly have your reaction to the result?
Well, clearly it's disappointing, very close. Obviously every vote was fought for till the end, but obviously I've done 8 years on the council, I've got other things to do now.
You seemed very confident before. Are you really surprised by this result?
I think, there's a number of factors. I think the whole election island-wide is proving to be very difficult to predict. And clearly I was a high-profile target, and people felt strongly. But I'm still very grateful for the 619 people from Shanklin who came out and voted for me.
It was very close, though, wasn't it?
It was, and I suppose it always potentially was going to be. But the people have had their say. I've had 8 years working pretty hard for the council, and I'm now looking forward to getting some of my life back.
Daft question, what does a councillor do after 8 years on the council? What does he do with his life? Where do you go from here?
I do other things with my life as well, and I'm going to relax for the weekend and then start, looking early next week.
So you're out for a job?
Well, I already do some other work, and to be honest, I'm sure that I can make good use of myself over the coming years and beyond. Okay.
Richard Priest, member for Shanklin South.
So, Richard, can I firstly have your reaction to actually winning this seat? I mean, the man who's been there for 8 years has been defeated.
Well, I think I'm really delighted for my family, all the friends that supported me, everyone that sort of turned out and had their view for Shanklin. Putting Shanklin people first has been what we're about, and hopefully we'll do that over the next 8 years. But today I'm really delighted that Shanklin's had their say, and I hopefully can make a difference. It's a real privilege to serve my town.
Now, obviously, the bigger picture here is that David Pugh is the council leader, and you've beaten him. He seemed very confident that he would keep this seat before the count went ahead. Are you surprised that you've actually won this, considering that sort of confidence he had?
Well, we knew that when we went into the election that David had a huge majority in the particular ward. David has done a lot of work in Shanklin over the years, and he's made a difference on the island. But obviously people want to change. I fully appreciate what David's done. He's had a really challenging few years, and I respect what he's done. But hopefully we can focus on going forward. It's been a really interesting campaign. I've learned a lot for it, but my focus is on about what we can do tomorrow, make a real difference. There's some real challenges ahead for the Isle of Wight, and if I can play a part in making a difference, I'd love to do so.
Now, when you talk about David, it's a very diplomatic answer you give about these things. There's a lot of people angry about what the council's done. What sort of things, what sort of issues come up in your area and the island generally, do you think?
Well, absolutely. On the doorstep, people made loads of comments about education, cutting service like library, closing theatres, closing toilets. They're really big issues. And I know that there's a lot of funding challenges facing the island, there has been over years, but what we have a view to do, certainly John Gilby, my colleague in Shanklin, what we want to do in the future is focus on putting people first, getting the politics out of local governance so that we can actually share the best ideas and make a real difference. And as I said, education, tourism, all those things we want to put first, and if there's a different way of doing it, that's what we want to do.
Now, I haven't seen the final result yet, but it was very, very close indeed. How will for those who don't understand, how will the council work if it's sort of half and half independence, half council? Will it be a coalition like the government?
I think what the people with independent voices say, like myself and John Gilby, is about making sure that you work with partner agencies or partner individuals that share the same view. We're not about compromising what we stood for, we're very clear what we stood for, and if people want to share that, then we're welcome working with them. But obviously we're going to take a view over the next few days once the results are fully determined.
Assuming the independents sort of come into power with a coalition or that, any chance you might be standing for leader?
I think that's a conversation to be had. I'm really proud and privileged to represent the town that I grew up in. I really, really want to do that to the best of my ability, and I'm delighted with the result today.